Hello students, today we'll learn a very important writing skill, that is letter writing. As we know that letter has been a very prominent and popular way of communication with human beings. But with the advent and arrival of computer and mobile phones, writing physical letter has become very limited and it has lost its ground to emails and SMS. Still, importance of physical letters cannot be denied and its role cannot be done away with completely. So it's always important that we must know how to write an impressive and effective letter. So let's start. First of all, we'll see the types of letter. And letter writing can be divided into two categories: formal letter and informal letters. Formal letters are also known as official letters and informal letters are also called social letters. Formal letter can further be put into two categories, that is business letters and applications. We write business letters to place orders, to cancel orders, to make complaints, to make inquiry, or to make some business deal. And we write applications to apply for some job, to apply for leave, to apply for the remission of fine, to apply for gas connection, and likewise. When we talk about the social letters, so we write these letters to our parents, our relatives, and our friends, just to inquire about their health, communicate them some personal messages, to congratulate them on their achievements, and we write even condolence letters on the demise of the kith and kins of the people. Now we'll see the marking scheme, and this marking scheme is based on the CBSE pattern and guidelines. In total, the letter is for 6 marks, and these 6 marks are divided into 3 parts. First is format, which is for 1 mark, and format includes heading of the letter, body of the letter, and closure, that is subscription of the letter. Then comes contents. This is the main part of the letter, that is body, or we can say the message, and it's for 3 marks. The body of letter must be having, it is advisable, not must actually, it should have impressive letters, and effective letters should have minimum 3 paragraphs. First paragraph contains the introduction of the topic. It is the theme of the letter, the subject of the topic we are going to write about. Introduction gives us the theme, the gist of that purpose. Then is second paragraph, and in second paragraph we have to write the detail of the topic, its causes, effects, merits, demerits, and everything goes into the second paragraph. Thus second paragraph becomes the longest of the 3. Then comes third paragraph, which is the concluding part of the letter, where we conclude our topic. And when we conclude the topic, we should be very gentle, very polite in our tone, very positive too. Then is expression, and for expression students are allotted 2 marks. Expression is divided into 2 parts: accuracy. For grammatical accuracy 1 mark is allotted, and for style, that is use of diction and syntax, that is use of the words, phrases, and sentence structures, 1 mark is allotted. So in total it becomes for 6 marks. Now we'll see the format of the formal letter. So this is how the layout of formal letter should be. You can take the gray area to be the page, and if we have to just write, so to begin with we need to write the sender's address. The person who is writing the letter must mention his or her own address, but we don't have to write our name over there because name would come just after signature. So in sender's address, these are the components which should be written into the sender's address. House number, if it is written from office, so office building and its number. Street number or name where the house or the office is located. Then area, then city, name of state, and then pin code. If we are writing this letter to somebody who is in foreign country, who is abroad, so we have to mention the name of country also. After state, mention name of country and then pin code. Next to sender's address will come the date line. But between date line and sender's address, we should leave one single line gap. Sometimes we just write it just after sender's address. So it is just optional. Whether you want to leave single line gap or not, it's just optional. Date should be written in two ways only. Don't mention the word DATE. In place of DATE, start with this way: 2nd October 2020 or October 2nd 2020. These two formats and patterns are accepted and approved by CBSE. Sometimes children, they just write 2/10/2020 or just simply 20. It's not accepted. Many times we try to contract the name of the month also, which is not approved by CBSE. CBSE demands the name of month must be written in the expanded form, in its full form. After date line, we need to leave single line gap and then we'll write receiver's address, also known as to address, the person to whom we are writing. So the receiver's address must be having three things. There plus designation. If I am writing to some manager of a company, so it must be the manager, not only manager, the manager. Then in next line, name of the company: LG Private Limited, Tata Motors Private Limited, whatever the name of the company it is. And in the next line should come the location of the organization, the company, where it is located: Gurgaon, Noida, Nimrana, where it is located, the location should be there. After receiver's address, we must give single line gap, and after that gap we have to write down the salutation, the address words: sir, respected sir, dear sir, as per the choice. If we are writing to the person first time, we don't have any introduction with the person, we don't know the person whom we are writing, so write down simply sir. If we know each other, then we can write down dear sir. Respected sir can go for any case. Now after salutation we have to write down subject, why we are writing this letter. So the purpose of that writing letter should be written in one sentence. Try to just write subject in one sentence itself. Maximally it can go for two. If the topic is too long, then in two. Rather, one sentence is always appreciated and it's always good. Now this is the new format, students. Otherwise, previously subject used to come first followed by salutation, but now CBSE has just flipped their position and we have to write salutation first and then subject. Many times students are in confusion and they follow the old pattern. This is the latest one approved by CBSE. After subject, give single line gap, or you can directly start off with the body of the letter. Here will come the three paragraphs which we discussed in the previous slide. Once that body is over, the message is over, again give single line gap over here and then closure, subscription of the letter, and it should contain these things. Write down yours sincerely, yours faithfully, or yours truly. Pick up any one of the expressions. Yours sincerely is very common. Many times students commit mistake in the spelling of truly, so be careful. They just add up ly after true, but the spelling of truly needs the drop of e. First write down true, drop e, and then ly. Simply speaking, truly, not ely. Here you need to be careful. After this address, we need to put our signatures, then name, and then designation. So in a formal letter, we have to write these 4 things in the subscription, or you can say the closure. Now we'll see one example. This is the question. You are Sahil Tuteja, the sports secretary of your school. Write a letter to Globe Enterprises, New Delhi, a leading firm dealing in sports goods, requesting them to supply their trade catalog. You may mention the items you intend to buy and ask for a discount on the catalog prices. So this is how the letter look like. To begin with, this is the writer's address, or you can say sender's address or self address. With single line gap is date line, and then with single line gap is the receiver's address. Their marketing manager. We shouldn't say marketing manager directly. We need to put up there before it. Then name of the organization, then its location. After single line gap is dear sir, then subject trade catalog for sports goods, and here is the body of the letter, which is divided into 3 paragraphs, 1, 2 and 3. So you can have a screenshot of it and you can read this one also. After this one, there is a closure, yours faithfully, then name. By the way, after yours faithfully, there must have been signature first, then name, and then secretary. So between yours faithfully and name, there must have been signature. So don't forget this one. Signature, then name, and then designation. It should come this way. So once we can read this letter also, we have to buy sports material in bulk for various games and sports for our school for the new academic session beginning with effect from 1st April. So the first sentence and the introduction part mentions what we are writing this letter for. This is the theme of this letter. And then second paragraph will give the detail of the topic. We are interested in cricket bats and balls, hockey sticks, balls, goalkeepers, full kit, footballs, volleyballs, basketballs, table tennis balls and bats, etc., etc. We also need items for uniform, namely sports t-shirts, shorts and vests of different sizes. Your firm has been mentioned to us as one of the best dealers in sports goods. I shall be glad if you send me your catalog together with the quotations for large quantities. Please do mention the time required to effect a delivery, means send the delivery, and the terms of payment. Cash payment, check payment, or what is the mode of payment with you people. So the details are given in the second paragraph. Now is the concluding part. Third paragraph, which will conclude the topic. I hope you will facilitate business by quoting the lowest possible rates, bargaining. Now the writer is doing bargaining with the company. I'm confident that you will patronize us by giving some discount also. Please mention the rate of discount on the catalog prices. And this way the letter is concluded. With single line gap, subscription part is there, closure is there. So this is how we have to write the business letters, or you can say the official and informal letters. Now some tips are there which will help us to make our writing impressive and effective. Be brief, clear and to the point. Don't try to beat about the bush while writing letters. Don't write anything in the repetitive mode or something which is unnecessary for the moment. Use separate paragraphs for separate ideas, like our letter is having 3 separate paragraphs. First para should indicate the theme of the letter, which is the introduction of the topic. Make a factual statement of events and activities. Because we are not writing a story, so our language should be very direct and having simple tone. Exact data should be mentioned over there. Use simple and direct language. Avoid the use of long and high sounding words and ambiguous constructions. Even while lodging a complaint or making criticism, you should be polite and gentle. This is very important. While we are making complaint against anything, we need to take our stand. But there is no necessity of being rude with the person. Being very gentle, being very polite, we can communicate our message with a strong force. And that is taken to be very good letter. Avoid commonplace and clumsy expressions. Commonplace, frequently use words and phrases. Don't use the cliches. Don't show the mannerism in the letter writing. Next is use a proper layout and format for these format letters. As we have seen the format of formal letter, that format and steps mentioned over there must be followed by writing any formal letter. The block format is the best one in formal letters. Block format means when we write our addresses, self-address or the receiver's address, we needn't write everything in one line or 2 lines only. After every information or after every event, we need to move to the next line. And when we write address, it appears to be a poetic stanza. That is known as block format. And in block format, we needn't strictly follow the punctuation, rule of the punctuations. Because block format is free from punctuations, it becomes very like a personal choice of the writer. If you want to use comma and all these things, full stop never goes over there. Sometimes you use commas, but you can do away with even the commas. Because in block format, we are free from punctuations. Next is format of the informal letter. There are certain things which are different from the formal letter. But to begin with, formal and informal, both the letters are just the same. We have to write the sender's address, and sender's address will have house number, street number or street's name, area, city or state, and then pin code, just like formal letter. Then will come date line. After single line gap, we have to write down date, and just like formal letter, this should be the pattern of date. After date line, give single line gap and then salutation or greetings. But in informal letters, we don't have to mention receiver's address and subject of the letter. These two things we have to do away with. In salutation, we should write dear, then name of the relation. Dear son, dear papa, dear mama, dear brother, dear uncle, this way. Or it can be dear plus Mr. or Mrs. as per the gender and then name. Suppose I'm writing to my friend, so it will be dear Mr. Rakesh, dear Mr. Rakesh, or dear Rakesh itself will do. But in place of simply saying dear Rakesh, you can say dear Mr. Rakesh also. After salutation, give single line gap and will come the body of the letter. In formal letter, we know that we should divide the contents in 3 parts, like paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. But in social letter, this is not hard and fast rule. But at least we should have 2 paragraphs. The paragraph which we begin with and mention each and everything in detail, and then concluding paragraph. So at least we should go with the two paragraphs. If we can create, then third is also okay, not an issue. And in informal letters, our language should be informal. We should give it emotional touch also. We should adopt the emotional tone, because we are writing somebody who is very close to us. We know each other and we are closely associated. There is no official format between us. So we need to use emotional expressions also. Then age specific addresses, because social letters are written even to our youngers, to our same age, as well as to our elders also. So the way we talk to the people in person, how I talk to my younger ones and juniors, the same tone of the language should come into my letter. How I talk to the people who are my same age, and how I talk to the people who are my elders, my parents and elder relatives. So the same tone should come into the letter also. And once that body is over, then there is closure. We'll close the letter, and for that closure we need to use, these are few expressions. We can pick up any one of our choice. Yours lovingly, lovingly yours, always yours, or yours always. We can pick up any one of the given one. And then our name. In social letters we don't put our signatures. So this is the format for informal or social letters. This is the question. You are Akriti or Abhinav. Write a letter to your friend describing your boarding school in about 120 or 150 words. This is the word limit you find in board exams. So see the example. To begin with, there is address of the writer, and then date line. After gap, this is salutation. Dear Neeraj, and without giving single line gap, it has been started. You can, if you will and wish, you can give single line gap, or you can directly start after the salutation. How have you been? The very beginning of the letter is quite informal, raising a question. This is how we talk to the people in personal life. The same tone, same quality of the language should be used while writing to somebody who is our near and dear one. How have you been? I hope my letter finds you in best of health and spirits. It's been almost a month I transferred to the boarding school. I'm very happy in my new school. The classes and dormitories are very spacious. There are well-equipped science laboratories and a library with a great collection of books. The school has amazing sports facilities such as swimming pool, horse riding track and archery range. So whatever the details the writer wants to give is presented in the first paragraph. Now second one is the part of conclusion. He's gonna conclude himself. I believe my life here will be interesting and enjoyable. Although I have made many new friends, I still miss you and the other friends. Please pay my regards to your parents. Yours always, and then name. So this is how we have to write social letters. Now students, you can take screenshot of both the letters, formal and informal, go through them and compare the quality of language. You will come to know the difference between the language for both the purposes, social as well as official letters. So that's all for now, children. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.